Hello and welcome to another chapter in the geography of class 10, agriculture. Agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. We all are dependent on agriculture. Agriculture provides our basic needs. Agriculture is the most heartful, most useful, and most noble employment of a man. These are the words of George Washington to serve the motherland. Agriculture in India is a gamble on the monsoon. The monsoon of India is uncertain, unpredictable. Whether it comes on time or not, one cannot say. Because the irrigated land on an average is just 1.7 hectares. So, Indian agriculture has to depend on the rainfall. India is an agrarian economy and agriculture produces most of the food that we consume. Agriculture also provides so many inputs for the industries. We will be surprised to know that India is the second in the world in crop output, next only to China. Around 1.4 million square kilometers of India, of land in India is under cultivation. Agriculture is the biggest economic activity wherein 52.1% of the total workforce is engaged or employed. The farming can be classified into three types: the primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, commercial farming. We studied in class 8 that in intensive farming, entire family works with the old primitive tools, hoe, dagger, and so on, so forth. And commercial farming is on an estate of land with entire mechanization, tractors, seeders, then sprinklers, weeders, all these are used for farming. So it is simply technical farming. So let us now go into the depth of these three aspects. The primitive subsistence farming, this is basically in the rural forest areas. This type of farming is still practiced in few places of India. Small patches of land with the help of primitive tools, etc., are dug out, and the digging stakes and entire family uses these, and with the help of community, they all put in their labor, hard work in doing this kind of cultivation. This type of farming depends upon the rainfall or the monsoon. The natural fertility of the soil is the only source. There is no inorganic manure. It is the natural organic manure which is subsisting or which is assisting the cultivation. It is very much suitable for the environmental conditions. It will not harm the environment as the chemicals and pesticides are not used. The same type of farming is also called as slash or burn cultivation. The farmers clear a patch of land and produce crops to sustain their family, to continue to support their family. The piece of land is cleared, then the ash or the crops or whatever remains are burnt. The burnt remains or the ashes are mixed with the soil. Then the fertility now assists. This ash is going into the soil, then cultivation is done. After cultivation is done for 3 to 4 times, when the soil loses the fertility, the farmers abandon that place and shift to some other place and start the same process again. This type of cultivation is called as shifting cultivation, as farmers move from one place to another. The farmer is doing this kind of farming, and the fertilizers or modern imports are not used in such a method of farming. The crop seasons can be classified into three: Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. So let us see about the Rabi crop. They are generally planted from November and they are harvested in April. The crops which are cultivated in the Rabi season are wheat, barley, pea or the green gram and the gram here. Okay. The Kharif season or the crops, they are sown with the onset, that is the arrival of monsoon. So it starts from the June and they are harvested somewhere in September, October. The most important crops which are cultivated in this season are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, tur dal or arhar dal, moong dal, urad, cotton, jute, groundnuts, and soybean. Some of the most important rice growing regions in our country are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra. These are the particular regions. And also the Konkan coast along with the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So the amount of rainfall which is required here is little more. Recently, the paddy has become an important crop in Punjab, Haryana region also. No doubt wheat is a very important crop. Apart from that, paddy or the rice is also becoming important. And we should be happy to know that the same crop of rice is grown as 3 series of paddy in the states of West Bengal, Assam, and Orissa. And these three crop seasons of paddy are called as Os, Aman, and Boro. The summer crop or the Zaid crop is cultivated approximately from the months of February, and in the months of May it is harvested. Basically, you can see here cucumber, watermelon, muskmelon. These are the important fruits and vegetables which are cultivated in this region. Apart from that, some fodder crops are also cultivated in the Zaid season. Now let us have a clear-cut distinction between the Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. Rabi crops are grown after the monsoon season at the beginning of the winter, that is in the month of November. Okay, and the Kharif crop season are sown in the beginning of the monsoon season, that is the month of the June. The Zaid crop is grown in the mid of Rabi and Kharif season. That is, the Rabi ends around the January, February region, and the Kharif starts in June. Between Rabi and Kharif, we have the Zaid. So Rabi requires cold climate for the growth of crops and warm climate for germination of seeds. The seeds should germinate and they need warm climate. Okay. And here in the Kharif, we see that plenty of water and hot and humid climate is required, and this is needed for these crop season. These crop seasons required a wide range. Now here, the weather should be dry and this should support the growth of the crops. The doesn't need any amount of or very scarce amount of rainfall. The crops are grown generally between October to December. That is the Rabi crop. And the Kharif crops are grown and they are sown in the month of June and July. They are harvested September, October season. The Zaid crop or the summer crops are sown mainly during the summer season, and that's why they are called as summer crops. That is between March to June. Some of them start in February also. Harvest season for the Rabi crop is between April to June. Harvest season for the Kharif is from September to October. Harvest season of the Zaid is June to July. The important crops of the Rabi are wheat, oil, barley, gram, different kinds of gram, green gram, horse gram, etc. Then peas, mustard are the major ones here. Whereas in the Kharif, you have rice, maize, jawar, bajra, tur, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut, and soya beans. Coming to the summer crops, seasonal fruits and vegetables like watermelon, sunflower, muskmelon, sugarcane, all these are grown and these are during the summer. So they are called as summer season or the Zaid season. The important regions of the Rabi crop are Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir are the states of Rabi crops. Coming to the Kharif crops, Assam, West Bengal, coastal areas of Odisha, Konkan coast, Bihar are the leading producers of the Rabi crop. Coming to the Zaid crop, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh are the major producers of the Zaid crop. Now the major crops. We will be amazed to know that India produces 51 major, very important crops. Let us learn about some of them. A variety of food and non-food crops are cultivated in our country because ours is a land mass with distinct soil types. We have alluvial soil, we have laterite soil, we have black soil, we have red soil. Different soils with different climatic conditions support the cultivation of these major crops. Rice, wheat, millets, maize, pulses. These are grains, sugar cane, oil seeds, tea, coffee, horticulture. These are food crops other than grains, rubber, fiber, cotton, jute. These are the non-food crops. We will study some part of these food crops in this part 1 of the video. With the part 2, I will be coming up with the remaining crops. Also, I will be doing the institutional reforms and the technological reforms which have been introduced in the field of agriculture in the post-independence period. Let us now study about rice. Rice is the staple crop, children. By staple crop, we mean to say that majority of the people consume this grain daily. India is the second largest producer in the world, only after China. Kharif crop, which requires high temperature, about 25 degrees Celsius, and high humidity with an annual rainfall of 100 centimeters. It is grown in the plains of northeastern India, coastal areas, and the deltaic region. The development of dense network of water availability through canal irrigation and tube wells have made it possible to grow in the areas of less rainfall also, such as Punjab, Haryana, because now this crop is having great demand in not only our country, even in other countries also. Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, and also parts of Rajasthan. In this map, we can now see the major growing as well as the minor growing areas. This light green color, you can identify here the areas of more rainfall, the coastal regions of the northern Sarkars and the Coromandel coast. You can find this region is rich in cultivation of rice, and parts of Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, and part of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa. You can find the cultivation of rice in abundance. Now coming to the wheat. Wheat is the second most important cereal crop which is consumed by us. The main food crop in north and northwestern part of our country. This requires cool growing season and bright sunshine during the ripening time. It requires the rainfall little lower than the rice. It is from 50 to 75 centimeters of annual rainfall distributed over the entire growing season. The important wheat growing zones are Ganga Satluj Plain, black soil region of the Deccan Tract. The major wheat producing states in our country are Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, and the parts of Madhya Pradesh. This is the map. You can see the pink color region. These all regions are the major producers of the wheat crop. The listed out states just now, they are the leading producers of the wheat. Now coming to the millets. Under millets, these millets are also called as coarse grains. Coarse means rough grains also. They are jowar, bajra, ragi. These are the important millets which are grown in our country. It is believed that they are rich in iron, calcium, and also more nutrients, and therefore people who are affected with some diseases which refuse the consumption of carbohydrates, they can supplement their diet with these millets. So these grains are also known as coarse grains. They are highly nutritional in value, rich nutritional value, or high nutritional value. Let us talk about ragi. Ragi is rich in iron, calcium, and other micronutrients and has roughage. Children, roughage helps in digestion. It has a smooth bowel movement. It is a crop of dry region. Basically, Karnataka leads in the production of this ragi. It is followed by Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh. They are also important producers of ragi. Coming to jowar, jowar is a third most important food which is consumed with respect to area of production. It is a rain-fed crop grown in moist areas. So dependent on the rainfall. Maharashtra is the largest producer of jowar, followed by Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. Bajra grows well on the sandy soils and shallow black soil. Rajasthan is the largest producer, followed by Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Haryana. You can see ragi, jowar, or it is also called as jow, and bajra. Coming to maize. Maize is also used for both food and fodder. Fodder is the food for animals. Those animals which are supplemented with all these grains, groundnuts, horse grams and all, they will be having good immunity and they give good dairy products. So it is used both as food and fodder. Kharif crop, which requires temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, and it grows well in the alluvial soil. The maize is grown in the states of Bihar, and it is a rabi crop. The use of modern inputs, that is with the coming of the green revolution, the high yielding variety of seeds, fertilizer, irrigation have been contributing to the increase of the production of maize. Major maize producing states are Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. So coming to pulses, in the pulses, we have the major pulses. They are very rich in protein and they are a vegetarian source of diet. So we have the tur dal or the arar dal, urad dal, moong dal, masoor dal, peas, green peas or matar, or all grams, the chickpeas, the horse gram, the green gram, the red gram, all these grams. These pulses need less moisture and survive even in the dry conditions. They don't need much amount of rainfall, because of which it is grown in rotation with other crops. So the soil nutrients are restored. So when we grow in rotation, for example, nitrogen, phosphorus, potash are used for one crop, then a gap is given, then these are cultivated, the pulses, then next. So the replacement of the nutrients happen. The major pulse producing states in India are Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. This is in this video part 1. It's a big chapter, children. The continuation of remaining crops from sugarcane we will do in the part 2. Thank you.